Hey guys, so I'm making this video. My dog thought I was waving to her. Um, I'm making this video because I'm like on a whim because I just got out of work early and I had nothing else to do. And we had this discussion on Twitter earlier about music. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. So here it is. Basically, because I can talk about music all day, every day. Y'all don't even understand. Well, clearly, if you follow me on Twitter, you know, because that's all I like to talk about. I love music. Like, it's my favorite topic because there's no end. You can talk about it forever, and there's so many genres and subgenres and subjects you can talk about it on. It's amazing. You can go musically and lyrically and anything. Like, you can just go on for hours about music. Well, I can't. So it's my favorite topic. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to tell you guys, like, my favorite albums, where I'm, like, coming from musically, and, like, favorite songs off albums and stuff like that. I'm sorry, this chair is super annoying. Um, Basically, like growing up, I don't know if many of you know this, but like my mom's from Brooklyn. She's black, straight from Brooklyn. All she listened to when I was growing up playing around the house is R&B and hip hop. So I grew up with like Biggie, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige. Like that was played heavily in my house. Like my mom was like a bad boy groupie, like 112. Like she just that was always played in Vogue, all that stuff. She was really into R&B, so that's all she played. And then my dad, if you guys don't know, he's straight off the boat from Italy. He came here probably like late 70s, early 80s. So like when he first came here, what was in, he was like such a new waver. So all he really listened to was like The Cure, Depeche Mode, New Order, and all that kind of stuff. He kind of like was into punk too because he listened to like a lot of Sex Pistols and stuff like that. So that's the two kind of stuff genres I had playing in the house all the time. So when I was growing up, I didn't really know like genres really because it was just what mom played, what dad played. Like I never was like had that moment where you know when you're like, oh, I should try to listen to this kind of music and like break over. It's just always been in my life. But so I was like, you know what? So a lot of my albums aren't because I talk about pop music all the time because it's the only genre of music that has such a big following because it's popular music. So it's easy to talk about, and there's a lot more people you can talk about it with. But so all these albums range. They can go from like I'm going to talk about Amy, which is like jazz, blues, soul. And then I can go to Beyonce, which is like R&B pop. And then I'm going to go into some punk and some other stuff. And I'm going to put like the names of all my favorite albums down in the thingy below. I don't know what anything is called on YouTube. And you guys they're all on Tidal. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure they're all on Tidal. So you guys, besides maybe one or two. So you guys can listen to it and just comment and talk to me about it because I can literally talk about music all day long. You don't understand. It's not a joke. So I'm going to start with Back to Black because it was on number one on the list I made today. And this is not in order, FYI. It's just that's probably one of my favorite albums. Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Amy Winehouse. Like, there's pictures of her on my wall. I'm thinking about getting an Amy tattoo. Like, I love her to death. I loved her before she died, which sucks. But, like, I didn't really appreciate her till after. I know, I'm trash. I'm a horrible person. I'm your basic person. I'm trash. But, yeah. But, you know what? I still love her, and I still appreciate her no matter when. Can y'all not? I have the most annoyingest, like, I'm the only child. There's not kids in here. These are animals. They're so aggravating. Sorry. Anywho, so, I'm sorry. So, back to Black. I would say, I was going to say, like, what my favorite song is on that album, but there's so many that I can't even talk about. So, I'm just going to say, like, lyrically, probably Back to Black is the best song off that album. If you listen to it, it's so honest and it's so raw, and it's one of those songs that like I can listen to a song and it's heavily like metaphors and this, and you're like, what is it about? I can listen to Back to Back. I know exactly what it's about. Like the lyrics are just like, he kept no time to regret, kept his dick wet with his same old safe bet. Like I just love that line so much, y'all don't even understand. Like it's so honest, and that's what I love. The whole album's honest, and that's what I love about it so much, because it's rare you find like honesty. Like she wrote every single song. It really reflected how she felt, and it wasn't, like I said, heavily like metaphored. It was like, this is what's going on, this is what I'm writing about. It's just raw. I love it. But I'd say like my favorite song off that album would probably be. I always go back and forth between Tears Dry on Their Own, just because I feel like that's everyone's favorite song. It's perfect. It's upbeat. I feel like I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like a Motown sample, the beat, but I'm not 100% sure. And Some Unholy War. Even freaking Wake Up Alone. Those. Probably the whole, I'm basically going on the whole album's perfect, but I can't pick a favorite. I have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20 favorite songs off that album. It's perfect. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's great. Listen to those songs. Oh, my list disappeared. I had like a list. Whatever, I know it by heart anyway. It's my favorite albums. The next one, clearly, it's Beyonce's 4. Now, listen, I go back and forth all the time because I'm saying 4, but as I'm saying 4 out of my mouth, I want to say self-titled. I go back and forth. Listen, they're both flawless albums. I only say 4 because I feel like musically it was so different for B, and it was just different. Like, it was something she didn't do before, and it wasn't. And I'm not trying to quote her, but she wasn't trying to be cool or try to fit in. I think the only song on that album that really tries to, like, fit in or try to do, like, good on the charts was Run the World. The rest of that album was, I can't see it peaking on the charts because I don't see the radio picking up, but it's perfect. Like, it's just, and again, I'm not trying to, like, quote her, but she's not trying to be cool on that album. She was trying to be, like, raw and just real music, and I appreciated that so much. I think that's why I always say 4, is because I really just appreciated what she was doing with that album. I like 1+1 and I Care, just to have that be your opening of an album was like, it's just amazing. It's amazing. I love it. And then even the up-tempo ones on there, like Countdown, is, oh my god, Countdown is perfect. Like, End of Time is perfect. School and Life is perfect. Like, the whole album is perfect, just musically. Like, you can honestly listen to those songs without any lyrics. You can just listen to it, and it's just the melodies, but then you can listen to it, you know, a cappella, because they have some on YouTube where it's just her, and it's still beautiful. Like, I can't express to you how beautiful 4 is. It's amazing. But then I go back and forth because Beyonce, the self-titled, really is one of my favorites because there's something on that album for everyone. Like, someone just, don't mind it. There's something on that album for everyone. That's why I think I love it so much. It was so amazing. Like, 4 is strictly, like, you have to love R&B, really, like, you know, R&B, contemporary R&B. Like, that's basically what it is. 4 has everything because you can go from Jealous to No Angel to Partition and then go to EXO and then Blue and Heaven. Like, it's just amazing. And then Pretty Hurts. Like, there's something for everyone on that album, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what mood you're in, what type of music you like. There's something for everyone on Beyonce, and I think the self-titled. And I think that's why I always, like, go, but that one's my favorite. But 4 musically, and 4 is just so different. And I always go back and forth because it's amazing. Beyonce's amazing, let's face it. But honestly, I feel like her last 2 albums of 4 and self-titled were just my absolute, like, she just gets better with age. She's fine wine. Gosh, this video is going really long, and I'm not even, like, this much done. All right, I'm going to try to run through it really quick. Mumford & Sons, Sigh No More. It's like a folk album, alternative. I don't know if a lot of people like them or you're into that music, but I'm not really even into folk that much or country or that, like, type of thing. But this album's amazing. You guys just have to, if you haven't heard it, I think it won Best Album at the Grammys or Album of the Year. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was nominated. I'm pretty sure it won. It's perfect. It's honestly one of the most amazing albums ever. Little Lion Man is probably the most famous one off that album, and it's amazing. Like, I can't even, I don't know, FYI, what any of these songs are really about. Like, the lyrics have me completely confused. But I've been listening to this album since it came out, like 2009? And it's just, it musically and his voice and just everything is amazing about this album. So I would suggest, if you're going to listen to Sigh No More, which I'm pretty 100% sure is on Tidal, listen to Little Lion Man, listen to Awake My Soul. Okay, those lyrics, right here. White Blank Page, I get what those two are about. It's just heartbreak. It's pain. Like, it's real. Listen to White Blank Page, Little Lion Man, Awake My Soul. You can even listen to Winter Winds, Sigh No More in general, that song. The Cave. Honestly, all the songs on that album is amazing. Again, these are albums. It's not like I like a song. No, I like the whole entire album, cover to back cover. Second one, the fourth, I don't know what song. I'm trying to like hurry up because this video is going super long. Is gonna be Blink-182's self-titled album. They're more like punk alternative. Again, Blink-182 is one of those bands I've been listening to since I was a child. My entire family listens, well, my dad's side, listens to Blink-182. I feel like it's in our genes. My cousin's like 5, and he already knows like every word to Blink-182. Like, it's in our genes as in this family. Like, you have to love Blink-182. It's amazing. They're probably the greatest punk band of all time. They're my favorite band of all time. I love it. I love Tom DeLonge. So, like, also on this list, Angels and Airwaves, which is his other band, is on this, because those two, I just love Tom DeLonge. I love you. I hope someone tells him that he's a musical genius every day he wakes up, just because he needs that reassurance, because he's perfect and his music is great and he's the best. Anywho, off that album, I would say my favorite, not to be like cliche and do like a single, but Always will always be... Always is probably one of the best off that album, just because it's like, I love it. It's like a love song. I love it. It's just, I love it. I just love it. Even the drum solo at the end, like everything about that. Well, it's not really a drum solo, but you know what I mean. It's just perfect. I love lyrically, it's amazing. Musically, it's amazing. Tom's voice on it is amazing. I love it. Violence is also one of my favorite ones off there. It's a little different. I guess you have to like kind of really be into Blink to like Violence. It's like one of those album songs you really have to like. But definitely that one. All of this has Robert Smith from The Cure on it, and I can listen to it all day, every single day. It's the most depressing song. Like, I listen to it and I instantly want to cry. But it's amazing. Like, Blink-182, Robert Smith. It's amazing. It's amazing. Honestly, the whole album's great. Even, I think, Not Now it's on the album, but I feel like it might have been on, like, a special edition bonus. That song, also perfect. Next, these are just my favorite albums, and there's so many, and I know this video is going so long, but I'm really trying to get all of it out. I think I spent too much talking about Amy. Oh, well, she's perfect. But anywho, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This is why I love Amber Rose. I should have added that in my video yesterday, why I'm pro Amber Rose. She gave Kanye West his best album to date. Anyone who says artists who like make music after they break up is always the best, it's correct. It is. The album's perfect. Devil in a New Dress, y'all, I can listen to that song and just cry. It's depressing. I think I have like a thing with just depressing music, because none of the like albums I've looked at and the songs I've liked are like the happy songs. They're the depressing songs. But that's when you get the real emotion. That's when you get like, you really feel it. That's when you get rawness, honesty. And that's what this album was. It was just so honest. Like the Blame Game. It's honestly, sometimes it's a little too honest. Like, I listen to it and I'm like, I feel like I'm in their relationship. Like, this stuff I should know about. It's amazing. So, that album, everyone knows it. But if you haven't listened to it in fully, listen to Devil in a New Dress. Listen to Runaway. Listen to Blame Game. And of course, Monster, just because Nicki rips it. Can you shut up? I have no idea why these dogs are crying. I just fed them. They just went out. It's time for them to take a nap, but here they are crying. Next album is Lady Gaga's Fame Monster. Perfect album in every way. I know it's like a continuation to the Fame. Let me just tell you something. There's not a Lady Gaga album that isn't perfect. Don't let them tell you anything about art pop. It's perfect. Everything Gaga has ever done is perfect. Don't let anyone tell you wrong. Even her Christmas stuff is perfect. Her jazz stuff is perfect. Lady Gaga is perfect, let me tell you. But if we're going to pick favorites, definitely the Fame Monster. Only because Bad Romance, Alejandro, Monster. Monster's the best song off that album. Dance in the Dark. So Happy I Could Die. Like, are you kidding me? Teeth. Speechless. Oh, the whole album. Honestly, that album helped me through everything in high school. I didn't have, for like there was like a year, I want to say like my sophomore year, my junior year, I like didn't have any friends. Sorry, my nose ring is all jacked. I didn't have like any friends. I like dropped all my friends. I got into like a huge argument and I was like, forget you. And then like that one friend took all our friends. So I didn't have any friends at that time. And all I listened to was Lady Gaga. And I know it seems like so cliche, monster, but like she genuinely helped me through everything. Like, I love Lady Gaga. I will always thank her for the rest of my life for, like, helping me through that time in my life. I had no friends. I had no one to hang out with, no one to talk to. My parents didn't really care or listen to me because they're like, you're in high school. Shut up. Like, I was just so alone. And she really was there for me to, like, cling to. I cling to her like a mother monster. She was just that one person who I can, like, listen to her and I was like, oh, and I became obsessed. Like, I was a monster. Like, I went to all her concerts. I've seen the Monster Ball is the greatest live concert of all times. Quote me on it. It's just, I loved it. So, anywho, So Happy I Could Die, Dance in the Dark, Monster. Those are the 3 songs you have to listen off the Fame Monster. I'm not including Bad Romance just because you've heard it. I don't have to tell you to go listen to it. You've heard it, ho. And it's the greatest song of all times, most innovative song of all times. Bad Romance is still ahead of its time. That song, honestly, sounds like it could have came from, like, the 70s or, like, 2050 because it's just perfect and so innovative. It's, again, like nothing I've ever heard. Again, that's just my favorite album by Gaga. Born This Way slays in its whole. Like, there's not a bad song. The Fame, in whole, slays. Not a bad song. Art Pop slays. The only song I don't like off of Art Pop is Dope. The entire album is perfect. Swine, Donatella, all of it. It's just perfect. It's just perfect. So don't let anyone tell you anything about Art Pop. Guy, Sex Dreams, Fashion. Mary Jane Holland is the greatest song off that album. Sorry, I had to spit it out. I just forgot how perfect it was. Another one of my albums, which I like state is like my favorite, would definitely be Mary J. Blige's My Life. Again, like I said, even Gaga with So Happy I Can Die and Speechless, like those songs are so depressing, but I just cling to them. Again, I think I'm like just like depressing stuff, whatever. I'm a gloomy kid. I used to love Tim Burton as a kid, like maybe that's why. But My Life by Mary J. Blige. My mom used to play this album all the time when I was a kid, and I really didn't appreciate it at all. To be honest, I didn't appreciate it until 2 or 3 years ago, and I listened to it and I was just like, it's so, I have no words to explain that album. Like, if you actually listen to the song My Life, you will honestly cry when she says, oh, you will see I'm so blue, crying out, don't know what to do or to say. Ah! I love it. I love it. I love it. Mary, you're queen for that album. Like, ooh, sorry, I almost played it. That song is perfect. Mary Jane slays. Like, every time I listen to it, I just want to be, like, in a red dress, like, being all slutty. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I just want to... I love that song. Mary's Joint, Be With You, No One Else. That album is perfect. Her voice back then was so... It wasn't... Because people love to be like, Mary J. isn't a good singer. She has the perfect voice for the music she makes. It's so, like... I could feel the pain in her voice of all the things she's been through. Like, it's just a flawless album. It's perfect in every way. Mary J., I love you. I really do. So those were my favorite albums, like, in a whole, I guess you can say. But there's also... Those are, like... When I say my favorite albums, those are, like, you know, my favorite albums. But there's albums out there in a whole that honestly, when I listen to, like, I can listen to the whole album and it can bring me right back to a certain time. And those are, like, more like alternative albums because those just remind me of my childhood a lot. So I guess I'll just, like, spend a really short time on them. Like, Cute Is What We Aim For. What's the name of that album? They had really long album titles back then. I don't know if anyone was, like, in that, like, emo scene phase, but I was heavy into it, okay? I was on MySpace. I had, like, 10,000 friends. I'm not kidding. I was always on, like, MySpace trains, like, pick for pick, look at my hair. Like, I was totally scene emo chick. But anywho, all those bands had super long album titles. This one was The Same Old Blood Rush with a New Touch. It was by Cute Is What We Aim For, and it looked like this. I don't know if you guys can see it. That album, I can listen to it. It's probably, I say this all the time, the greatest album of all time. I said it. It's perfect. Honestly, when I listen to it, it reminds me of when I was like 14, 15, and I was like super into that like scene and phase, and it reminds me of when I was learning how to drive. My dad had this ugly station wagon. He called it his beater car because he would just mud in it. It was just like a beater car. And I used to listen to that album, and it just reminds me of the fall time of my dad teaching me how to drive, and I was really in that super scene where I was going to concerts like every other day. Anywho, that album's perfect in its whole. You guys should really listen to it. Cute Is What We Aim For, The Same Old Blood Rush with a New Touch. Maybe I should tell you like my favorite song off that album, because I really want you guys to like listen to it because it's perfect. Like, it's just one of the best albums ever. If you're gonna listen to it, listen to Sweet Talk 101, Moan. Teasing to Please is the best song off that album. Or, I put the Metro in Metronome or something. It's like a weird title. I'm telling you, those albums back then were weird. The next one is the Maine, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. It looks like this. My phone is cracked, FYI. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard Girls Do What They Want. If you haven't, that song's pretty great. It's not the best one off the album. Probably Kiss and Sell or This Is the End are the best songs. Or I Must Be Dreaming. That album reminds me, bring me back to my childhood. That album takes me back to a time when I was like 17. Or was I 16? No, I had to be like 16 because I didn't drive yet. And my mom brought me, my friend Daniela, and I had this girl, a friend whose name was Dana. And my mom drove us. We like saw Paramore one night. We stayed outside all day waiting for them, right? We slept outside overnight. Like, the cops came and was like, "Are you girls trespassing at this arena?" And we're like, "No, we're sleeping on the floor outside overnight to see Paramore." And then we saw them that night, woke up the next day, and had my mom drive us all the way to Jersey, the Six Flags down there, which is Great Adventures, I think. I don't know if many of you know this, but that's a 5-hour to 6-hour drive away from my house. And my mom drive us. We like slept in the car, and then we went to go see the Maine. And we saw them there, and it was amazing. And that album is perfect. And it just reminds me of summertime, going to like a bunch of concerts with these girls, and it was just like, we were just free. I loved it. I missed that time. I had like no cares, no bills, no job. It was just... Anywho, the best, I told you the best songs off that album. I'm just trying to go fast because this video is long as heck. The next one, I didn't add this to my favorite albums of all times, and I'm mad that I missed it because it is one of the best albums of all times. It looks like this. It's called I Empire by Angels and Airwaves. Again, I told you Angels and Airwaves is Tom DeLonge's other band that he made after Blink-182 broke up the first time. Angels and Airwaves is probably one of my favorite bands. It's like Blink-182, Angels and Airwaves. I can't decide which one I love more. They're both perfect. Again, I just love Tom DeLonge. He's a musical genius. He's God to me, like you don't understand. I praise this man. That's my favorite album from them. But We Don't Need to Whisper is also great. And it's great because A Little's Enough is on it. Look up A Little's Enough, Angels and Airwaves. Depressed. I don't know if it's depressing or not because I can't understand the lyrics, but it makes me depressed. So it makes me want to cry, but I love that. It has The Adventure on it, which I've stated a million times. The Adventure by Angels and Airwaves is the greatest song of all times, and it's still not topped by any artist of any genre ever. Quote me on it. But I say I Empire is my favorite because as a whole, I just love that album. Heaven is on that album, and it's like, it just makes you have all these feelings. You're like, I just have feelings after listening to it. You're like, I just want to be like free. I have feelings. Secret Crowds is amazing. It makes you like want to riot and like just have like a protest. I don't know. It's amazing. Everything's Magic's amazing. Especially since I heard they stole the bass line from a Cure song, which after I heard it, I was like, oh, I can hear it. It's amazing. I love it. Breathe is amazing. Honestly, when I listen to that song, I want to get like married and have kids and like be lame. And like, I love you too. Like, I just want to be so lame and like gushy, but it really does make me feel that way. And Rite of Spring, I love that song just because it's like a song about Tom DeLonge's like childhood, and it just like makes me go, I love it, I love it, I love it. The next one, I'm trying to do this really quick. I'm so sorry this video is running late. You're probably not even watching the whole thing. I'm talking to myself. Since I'm talking to myself. But if you are watching, sorry about that. This one right here, it's called, what is it called? My favorite album, I don't know what it's called. Reach for the Sun. It's by The Dangerous Summer. This was another band that, like, brings me back to times with my dad. Me and my dad love The Dangerous Summer. And it brings me back to, like, we used to travel to this place called the Cant in Poughkeepsie. I don't know if many of you know it, but it's so dope. It's, like, the greatest venue ever. It's my favorite venue to ever see a show at. And we saw them there, like, 3 or 4 times. I remember the first time we saw them was in Scranton at the Crocodile, I think it's called. And it's a pizzeria. And underneath the pizzeria is a basement, and it's a hole, and they do little shows there. And Ace Enders is playing. I don't know if you guys know who that is. It's Ace Enders and a million different people. It's a great guy band. I don't know. It's just I don't know the band. It's a guy. It's a guy. His name's Ace. Anywho, so we're going to go see them, and I love Ace. He's amazing. I actually discovered Ace when I saw him opening up for Cute Is What We Aim For. But that's a different story. So anywho, we saw The Dangerous Summer open for them, and they were perfect. And I bought their album that day at the merch booth. And then ever since then, we saw them at the Chance in Poughkeepsie like a million times after. And that's another 3 hours away from my house. And we would travel so far just to see them. The Dangerous Summer is one of the best bands ever. I'm super depressed that they broke up. But if you're going to listen to that album, The Dangerous Summer, it's on Tidal. I'm going to tell you, like, the songs to listen to off of that album. And I would suggest, first of all, that album opens up with a song called Where I Want to Be. And it's amazing. It, like, I love that. I love when I listen to an album and the first song is just, like, gets you. And that's what this does. It really gets me. If you're going to listen to it, A Space to Grow, Reach for the Sun, Surfaced, and the best one off that album is The Permanent Rain. I can listen to this. I've probably listened to it, no lie, maybe like 600, 700 times. Every time I'm still like, yes! Like, it's amazing. Listen to that song, please. The Permanent Rain by The Dangerous Summer, if you're still watching. Then the next one, I'm trying to do this really quick, is by a band. I never knew how to pronounce their name, if it was Alesana or Alesana. But their album title looks like this. They're more like a screamo band. But that album brings me back to when I was like a kid. I was like 13 years old, and I used to be super emo and like wicked depressed. And that is probably one of the greatest screamo albums of all times. I cannot believe the word screamo just came out of my mouth. I'm super lame. But it is. They have this song called The Last Three Letters. If you're going to listen to that album, the last three letters, I think it's called. The last 3 words. That one, whatever, is the best one. And A Red and Dying Evening. If you want to, like, get super hype and mosh and just punch someone in the face, those 2 songs will get you there. I don't know if that's on Tidal, but if it is, you guys should listen to it. The album's called On Frail Wings, Vanity, and Wax. It's by them. They're amazing. They had their whole, like, every album I feel like they released, I wouldn't say every album. Their first 3 albums were amazing. It just brings me back to being a kid and being, like, super emo and being, like, on MySpace all day, every day, trying to get, like, the perfect angle and, like, mirror shot. The next one is Armor for Sleep. The album looks like this. It's called... What the heck is the name of this album called? Whatever. You don't really need to know the name of the album. It's perfect in a whole. And, there's this song on it. Again, I used to listen to a lot of music with my dad, so I feel like I'm saying it a lot. The album's called What to Do When You're Dead. There's a song on it called The Truth About Heaven, and it's probably one of the greatest songs. I say that about every song. It's the band's best song. I don't know, My Town is the best song, but it's not on the album, but this is my favorite album by them, and it's called The Truth About Heaven, and it's just like... It has, like, depressing lyrics, but musically it's just amazing. And it's, like, just a straight, like, punk alternative song. It's perfect. It's, like, a perfect alternative song. It's amazing. I love it. Again, you guys should listen to that whole album. The whole album's good. The next one is Silverstein. Looks like this. Now, I've probably seen Silverstein more than I've seen any band in the world. I've probably seen them, like, 10, 12 times. Like, every time they come up to where I live, I've seen them, and I've traveled to see them, and I've seen them at festivals and stuff like that, like Bamboozled a long time ago when that was going on, and, like, Works I don't think they've ever been on Warped. I don't think I saw them on Warped. Maybe I did. No, I missed them. Last time I went to Warped Tour, I got there super late, and I missed them because they opened up at, like, 10 o'clock. But whatever, I've seen this band a million times. Like, you don't even understand. But that album's perfect. I say that about all the albums. But no, that album literally has Smile. I think Smile in Your Sleep is on the album. I'm not 100% sure, but it has My Heroine, and if Smile in Your Sleep is on that album, then that album definitely is just, it's perfect. That band is more of like emo, really heavy, alternative. I don't know how to describe them. What does iTunes doesn't really do a good description of them, but they're great, and they're from Canada, and they're probably one of my top 5 favorite bands because I have all their albums. That one's just my favorite, but I have all their albums. Another like perfect one by them is A Shipwreck in the Sand, FYI. But if you're gonna listen to that album, you're gonna want to listen to My Heroine or Smile in Your Sleep because those are the 2 best ones. I know it's like the singles, but they're great. And if you're gonna listen to A Shipwreck in the Sand, you're gonna want to listen to American Dream. You're gonna want to listen to Broken Stars, Vices, I Couldn't Trust You, You're All I Have, the whole album because it's perfect. But anywho, yes. So go look up those bands. FYI, Cute is What We Aim For because they're perfect. The Maine, perfect. Angels and Airwaves, perfect. Silverstein, perfect. I'm trying to think. Did I say Armor for Sleep? All these bands besides Silverstein actually, I'm pretty 100% sure are no longer a band besides Silverstein. Dangerous Summer, great band. So if you guys have the time, go look those up. Again, this video is super long. I'm sorry that I made you guys sit here and watch a 30-minute long video. I apologize, but you know, you don't even have to watch it if you don't want to. The Beyonce video is coming. And that was it. Sorry about my hair. I'm having a really bad time. FYI, if you guys have noticed, wearing my natural hair today. But because I have over-dyed my hair blue and bleached it a million times, I have lost my curl. Sadly, it's only at the root. But yes, I have no more curls here. So here, it's curlylicious. Here, it's disgusting. So sorry that I look disgusting. Have a fabulous night. Sorry I made you watch this. Listen to those bands if you do watch it and talk to me about it because I want to talk about it. I want to. Please, someone talk to me. Talk to me about it. All my friends are sick of me talking about it.